Hey everyone, welcome back to Real Estate Matters. I'm Divine, your host and local realtor. This show is all about breaking down the real estate world in a way that actually makes sense. Today's discussion is all about buying land. Maybe you've driven by a vacant land and thought, oh, what could I do with that? Or maybe you've considered building your dream home from scratch. Well, this episode is for you. We're breaking down why buying land could be a smart move, what to watch out for, and how to do it right. Let's start with the big picture. Why would anyone buy a vacant land instead of a home? First thing first, long-term investment. Land doesn't depreciate. It can be held as an appreciating asset, especially in growing communities like many areas around Halifax, Bedford, and Dartmouth. Secondly, you could build your dream home. You'll get the flexibility to design a custom home tailored to your lifestyle. Thirdly, low entry costs. In some cases, land can be significantly cheaper than buying a home, making it an attractive option for first-time investors or budget-conscious buyers. Also, future development. You might be thinking big subdividing lots, creating rental units, or even commercial projects. But before you go shopping, let's talk about what you really need to know. First thing first, zoning. Zoning laws determine what you can and can't do on the land. So it's important to look and see if a land is zoned as residential, commercial, or agricultural. If you're dreaming of a duplex, but a land is only zoned as a single-family home, that could be a problem. Secondly, access and utility. Does that land have access to road? Is it served with municipal water, sewer, or electricity? Or would you need to dig a well and septic? These are big-ticket items that can add a lot to your budget. And also soil. Flat land is easier and cheaper to build on, but you may also need to test the soil to make sure that the ground is suitable for building. Rocky or marshy land could cause major issues later. Especially in Nova Scotia, you'd also want to look at whether a land is protected, if it's near wetland, or has development restrictions. It's important to never skip a survey. You want to know exactly what you're buying and where the property lines are. This helps to avoid disputes with neighbors or future issues with permits. When it comes to financing land, this is where things get a little different from the traditional home buying. Most lenders require at least a 25 to 50% down payment on land purchases, especially if there's no structures already on that property. Land loans are riskier for banks, so expect a slightly higher interest rate and shorter amortization period. You might also consider using a line of credit, vendor financing, or saving up to buy your land in cash. And if your end goal is to build on the land, some lenders offer construction mortgages that roll into a mortgage once your home is built. Now let's say you've bought the land. What's next? First, you need to apply for development and building permits in your municipality. Secondly, hire the right team. That includes architects, builders, and possibly a project manager. In Nova Scotia, make sure that your builder is licensed and insured. Next, plan your timeline. Building can take 6 to 12 months or even longer depending on the design, the weather, and your contractor's availability. Stick to a budget and always have a safety net fund. Unexpected causes like rock blasting or utility hookups are common. However, buying a land isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But here's who I think should consider. Buyers who value customization, investors thinking long-term, especially in up-and-coming areas, people who are priced out of move-in-ready homes but are willing to wait and build equity slowly, and anyone with a clear vision and a patience to go through the process of building. Buying land can feel overwhelming, and it's not as straightforward as buying a house. But with the right guidance and planning, it can be an incredible opportunity to build your future from ground up, literally. So all right, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will be dropping new episodes regularly. So if you want to stay on top of the Halifax real estate market and get some real estate advice, make sure to like, follow, and share. If you have questions or want us to cover a certain topic, make sure to send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. So see you next time on Real Estate Matters. And remember, when it comes to real estate, it all matters.